Okay, how are you guys doing? Good? Okay.
How are you?
Good. Good. Thank you, English. I'm doing really well. For our warm-up before this lesson today, I'm going to give you a handful of words. You can pick one or a couple, and I want you to just play. I want you to play with these words. You can make a few sentences. You can do whatever. You can make collage. I just want you to have fun with words, okay? So I'm going to give you just a handful of words to pick from, okay?
Do we write this down or put them on the whiteboard?
I want you to play. So if you want to play over on the whiteboard, you can do that. Yeah, just the words I give you. Pick from these handful.
Code. Can I go over to the whiteboard?
Yeah.
A few more words.
Yes.
Can I make up my own word if it looks like
Yes. Play. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to make sense directly.
You have one too, right?
I do?
have four. Only four.
System.
Swarm.
Closet.
System. Live orange cube system swarm. Swarm live. Live cute. The bright. Live cute and orange.
Why did
Live
you get
cute
so
and
many?
orange.
Jeez, Paul.
Right?
I only got 6.
Story.
Paul.
I got four.
Bright
I'm
story
writing with
tells.
Prickly.
No, the
Chuck, if you want to grab a handful from there, you can.
Of a orange. 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 And a closet.
What are you doing, John
You guys wanna
Ray?
hear
You want to
mine?
explain?
The bright ocean. Ready?
No.
The bright story tells of an orange in a closet.
I made this sentence out of these words.
Oh, you want to read it?
The colorful
Cute
gold
ocean
sand
flex desert.
waves from owl sparks.
Ooh, it's poetic. Very nice.
Curious, cool.
No, the cute ocean great.
Sea of words.
Sea of words.
You're dull, because you're dull.
Dull.
Okay, did you guys have fun playing with words?
Yeah.
Have you ever played with words
Yes.
in elementary school before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
How did
no.
you play in elementary school?
Well, they gave us cubes and we did. They had this ball with a bunch of words on it and we'd pass around.
Oh, that's fun. How else did you play with words then?
Oh, when I was a kid, you had those blocks that had all the letters on them.
Yeah, and we spelled like
You spelled that stuff.
dog and stuff. I didn't have
And rat.
Oh yeah,
I
you
had-
spell out different words.
I had a magnetic board, like almost like a whiteboard, but it was green. And I used to stick the little letters that were like magnetic onto the board, and that's how I used to spell
That's fun.
when I was little. I used to
Have you guys ever done the Mad Libs?
Yeah,
I love those.
I did Mad Libs and this game called In a Pickle. It was really fun. Banana Burns, Scrabble,
Oh, I love Scrabble.
and Apples to Apples.
Yes.
I can make
I
it
love
always
apples
play
to
Scrabble
apples.
for grammar.
I still play
Yeah.
Scrabble.
Okay, you guys, so our big idea today for our lesson, I'll get back to your idea, John Ryan, is authors play with words. How might authors play with words?
When they write a sentence, and let's say you have an adjective that's sticky grass or something, they'll play around finding different adjectives to put in the sentence.
Oh, cool, they'll play around. Does this one work? Does this one? How else might they play with words?
Like how they, like what order they're putting them in the sentence.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Change the sentence.
Like reading that.
Oh, so sometimes they'll say change that sentence structure around? Definitely. Any other ideas? You guys have some great ideas already. We're going to be looking at this big idea today and finding some more ways that Harper Lee played with words. She definitely took a lot of joy in her writing and a lot of time. Almost every sentence you can tell that she has crafted so carefully. So we're going to try to pick out times that she's playing with words. She's having a lot of fun. So what your task is today, as we read aloud as a group, you are going to pick out one quote. Everyone has one large Post-it. You're just going to copy verbatim that quote that you want to prove that she's playing with. and we're going to list them over on this side. And then I want you to think about how the reader responds to that line in the text. You know, what does the reader think about? What is the reader feeling? Okay, and then we'll share at the very end of our reading today. Sound good? Okay. Any questions about this? Okay, excellent.
I'll show you my second one because I think it's better. I could go straight home and keep my fat flopping mouth shut. Page 58. I want to read what I have first. Harper Lee definitely is playing with words by saying that she had to keep a fat flopping mouth shut. I mean, because that's like, it's really, really descriptive, and it definitely etched an image of like a mouth that goes blah 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 in my head instead of like keeping your mouth shut. Like, it's like fat flopping mouth shut. So that was, to me, she was definitely playing with words there. And then my first one, Jem decided there was no point in quibbling and was silent. Instead of saying, oh yeah, there's no point of arguing, I think quibbling means arguing, and was silent, she used quibbling, and the cue kind of makes it look a little more playful. So that's my two quotes.
Interesting. And how do you think the reader responded to that? Or do you want to share how?
For this one? Or this
Or for the reader's response on the other side?
That? Well, I kind of laughed. That was my response.
Yeah.
Because fat flopping mouth is really creative. I would have never thought of that. Probably like, oh wow, that is very creative and funny and kind of happy. Makes it sound more happy instead of like, keep your mouth shut. It's like, it's kind of funny, so it makes the sentence a little more cheerful. So
Definitely.
I think that would be fun.
Okay, thanks.
In the first person from Jem says, the moon was setting and the lattice work shadows were fading into fuzzy nothingness. So I'm not particularly sure what lattice means, but I think it's more like just looks more like a borderline or something, like to decorate. And since the moon was setting and the lattice worked shadows, so it was like the moon was making shadows like dance in the as the moon disappeared, and they like into fuzzy nothingness. And the cool thing about that is that the fuzzy nothingness, it's like describing nothing, so it's kind of hard to describe, but she actually did, and she did describe, so that was pretty cool. And that was on page 63.
Love that phrase. Thanks, PJ.
Handwriting's really bad.
Okay, so I chose two quotes from the novel, and the first one is, she was a widow, a chameleon lady who worked in her flower beds in an old straw hat and men's I meant to say overalls, I think. Was it coveralls?
No, it was coveralls.
Okay,
Yeah.
coveralls, because I was like, okay. But after her 5 o'clock bath, she would appear on the porch and reign over the street in her magisterial beauty. And then I wrote, the author is showing, not telling, and I learned that in 6th grade. It's basically like showing the characters without like just blandly saying it. So that's why I liked it a lot. And I inferred that her husband died, she is a non-confrontational woman, tries not to start ruckus, and she's independent and respected. And then the second one was from Scout, and it was on page 51, and it said it was funny because she was teasing the boys after they said that she could hang out with them. And I can relate to that because I've done that before. Like, if I can't hang out with my brothers, and I'll tease them and stuff like that. And it's when she said, well, I said, who's so high and mighty now all of a sudden? And then I thought that was cool because it's a silly, fun paragraph. So it was basically the whole paragraph. I just put that blurb in because she got her comeback, and she introduced the problem before the story, and then she took it and weaved it in the story and then shot it right back at them. So I thought that was a cool, kind of playful part in the story.
Definitely. Thanks, Rachel. Awesome. Here, PJ, you can stop it. You want to be... Okay, you guys, we're going to wrap up the lesson. I have a few questions for you for us to have a quick class discussion. So what do you think is Harper Lee's favorite way of playing with words? She plays with words in many different ways, but what do you think is her favorite? So you're imagining her sitting at her desk. What would she be giggling about as she did it?
A
Cole?
lot of alliterations and and putting in words that sound the same. So,
PJ, what do you think?
Making like chopping up words, kind of like to make the accent and make them like sound.
Jargon.
Like just playing with them and be able to do whatever you want with the words.
How do you think she knew about this jargon?
Maybe from other novels.
Oh, from other novels?
Past experiences
Definitely.
or her childhood.
It might be something for us to research. You know, how did
maybe she
know?
even talks like that now.
Oh, yeah, maybe she talks like that. Maybe she grew up somewhere. Well,
Maybe
she
she
was,
has like friends or something that talk like that from other places.
that's interesting too. How else do you guys play with
Bored
words?
to death.
Maybe you don't. I don't know.
I guess by
Or even verbally, how do you play with words?
well, the way I play with words, like when I'm writing, I guess to make it actually to the point where you can almost taste the scene, like not to the point where you can picture the scene, where you're almost there.
How does author's play affect the reader? This could be patterns that you noticed or what you think in general.
They can draw out some of your emotions
Okay.
by maybe using assonance and consonants. You might feel by them playing with the words to make that sentence negative or positive, you might feel what they're trying to accomplish. That sentence.
Maybe it'll like remind you of something from your childhood or just like trigger a different mood, possibly something like that.
Do you ever read and all of a sudden it reminds you of a moment in childhood?
Pretty much has the power to make you like or hate a book.
Anyone have any wrap-up ideas about this whole lesson? Or maybe what's the target of this lesson? What can you take away from this whole lesson that we just did?
To encourage you to play with words and try to make it fun, not something that you don't enjoy.
Yeah.